So, I'm minding my own business, doing a daily search for Tesla-related content to see what folks are saying about the company, and I see a new piece from CNBS discussing Tesla FSD, and I think, this could be interesting. They've taken the time to specifically produce a segment. This isn't a live on-air, hey, look, cool story, bro, let's talk in real time about... No. This is a produced segment. I thought, now this could be interesting, couldn't it? Before watching anything, I thought, let's have a look at the comments. Could be indicative of what we're in for. After a few seconds of scrolling, I thought, oh shit, I'm going to have to record a video because this is amazing. So let's sample some of the responses before we watch this. The top rated comment as I record this, I cannot believe someone like Deirdre Bosa, who, by the way, I believe is the very same quote journalist who described the visibly shaken trolls posing as fired Twitter employees. Remember? Ligma Johnson, remember these guys? Yeah, it's the same person. She described them as visibly shaken. So, I don't know why I mentioned that. It's totally irrelevant. But anyway, this commenter, I cannot believe someone like Deirdre Bosa can be so biased. I lost a lot of respect for her today. The next post appears to be a conventional crypto scam. By the way, if you guys ever see these, do everyone a favor. Unwanted commercial content or spam. Every fucking time. Same shit, right? Some fake bot account posts some bullshit, and eventually a bunch of other fake accounts chime in to go, hey, Mrs. Dickhead McFuck you is my investment advisor and I've made $10 trillion yesterday. Next legitimate comment. A lot of the clips played to make their point are severely out of date. How about we look at Tesla's FSD software today? It's literally amazing and will only get better. So much incorrect information on here. More Tesla hit pieces. People need to try FSD. It's pretty amazing. Now, by the way, in completely unrelated terms, I just thought I'd randomly mention something that's got nothing to do with anything, which is, of course, the fact that the companies who butter the bread at CNBS and pay the bills, the largest advertisers, what do they make again? Oh, that's right, cars, which obviously has nothing to do with anything and definitely not create any editorial bias. So I don't know why I mentioned that. Weird. Another comment here. FYI, the free trial is over for most drivers, blah, 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 blah. Get cool story, bro. Let's get to the point here. This is honestly not worth anybody's time as the news involved is old as fuck. Another one. Old news clickbait. No thanks. This will age like milk. You guys are clueless. We love Tesla. Instead of giving credit and appreciating what Elon has done, turned the mountain from ICE to EVs, mindset, paradigm shift, mainstream media just find one or another reason to bash Elon and Tesla. We love Tesla. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? Now, it's possible the YouTube algorithm is giving me a potentially biased look at the top-rated comments. Maybe. I am logged in after all, but there ain't that many of them, so let's keep reading. So far, it seems like, 100% of the responses, the top-rated responses are from people saying, this is a hit piece, CNBS are full of shit, this is old news, History's largest kickstart fail. What? I was a skeptic and agree prior versions had trouble on some roads. The new software is vastly improved and agree with other posters that it will only get better. I've taken multiple trips now in heavy traffic and it performs well. She spelled huge wrong. Not sure what that's in reference to. Maybe there is a typo or maybe they just pretending that there was some other word. Anyway, whatever. We'll watch the video in a sec. Adaptive cruise, auto steer, lane assist and all safety features is included in base price on all Tesla cars sold since about 2018. The first skeptic I think here. Why would I pay a subscription of $3,000 to self-drive my car when I can drive it myself and save that? By the way, the actual answer to this question is if you can afford to and you value saving yourself some of the mental energy. Driving, paying attention constantly, being in control constantly, burns a lot of energy. Anyone who's ever been driving all fucking day can understand, right? If you'd prefer to save those brain cycles for something more important than driving yourself from point A to point B and you can afford to do so, that's why people would do this. Of course, there are the additional potential safety benefits as well. But at this point, it's definitely not for everyone. That's why it's an option. This skepticism, although septicism, I wonder if that was a Freudian slip, in this report is so short-sighted. Waymo is proprietary technology that allows vehicles to be driven remotely by human operators in the rare instances when the computers need help. It's true. Another comment here. Autopilot is free. This is one of the most well-balanced pieces from CNBS. They still don't define basic autopilot well and conflate the recall as having something to do with FSD, but it does not. I think there might be a typo in here. That might have been meant to be one of the most ill-balanced pieces from CNBS. But anyway, all right, I'm going to start skipping a few of these comments just to get to some of the more juicy ones. CNBS, haha, it's great they're giving more attention to Tesla though. What a hit piece, indeed. Legacy media has propped up the petrol dollar through propaganda for 50 years and change is happening. Waymo and Mercedes are leaders of what? Jesus Christ. Oh, wow, this is going to be good. They always have a negative spin on everything whatsoever to do with Tesla and Elon. On the other hand, they always have a positive spin on Apple. Fair. Anyone else get a negative tone throughout this whole video about Tesla? Can't wait for CNBS to eat their words in a year or two when Elon's net worth doubles. Such a Tesla hit piece. Shame on you, CNBS. The articles used were from the past, totally irrelevant to the current state of Tesla vehicles. What a bunch of BS reporting. I don't have a Tesla. I agree, FSD shouldn't be called FSD, it's misleading. I agree, autopilot is junk. Here's where it gets interesting. I strongly disagree with this news. Many videos, especially MKBHD, are outdated, almost 2 years now. What is on the road today is totally different. Review your copy. So interesting, right? This is a non-Tesla owner who believes autopilot is junk. FSD's name is misleading, yet still is calling out the bullshit in this hit piece from CNBS. Apparently we have a sole individual who claims this is reasonable. That's a fair assessment, which is not typical. Most of these are biased against Tesla. This reporter isn't familiar with tech industry. This report is pretty much biased even towards blackmailing. I'm sure you will delete your video in 2 years. CNBS laughing emojis. This is a good one. He is a boy who cried wolf, but the wolf came one day. That's actually a pretty good post. Oh, this is great. I don't like Tesla specifically because of its fanboys, but this documentary is absolutely moronic. Tesla's FSD is leaps and bounds ahead of the competition at this time for personal cars. This is outdated information and they have no idea what they are talking about. Bro, when even the haters are calling this bullshit out, you know it's bad. Another hit piece from CNBS. This is hilarious. Tesla is the company that needs to catch up. Oh, shit. Somebody posted the Robotaxi unveil date. This is blatant anti-Tesla propaganda and deliberate, disingenuous misinformation to create clickbait. Losing respect for CNBS. Wait, you had respect for CNBS, Jason? Wow. So outdated. Mercedes is beating Tesla in autonomy. Laughing emojis. Obviously, someone else has said this too, so apparently these fuckwits have made that claim in the video. Okay, I guess with that out of the way, let's watch this extremely unbiased, up-to-date, not a hit piece from CNBS on Tesla. I'll try not to interrupt too constantly. I'm getting a feeling there's going to be so much bullshit that I'll struggle to resist the urge to fact check and correct in real time, but I'll try and do that in batches rather than constantly. Otherwise, this is going to be probably, I'm guessing, I haven't watched it, but probably like a 3-hour video.
Tesla full self-driving.
Full self-driving.
Full self-driving.
Being called a watershed moment for FSD.
It is one of the most controversial parts of Elon Musk's Tesla strategy, especially since FSD, as it's called, is not actually fully self-driving. But love it.
Super cool. Super cool. Like, this is game-changing.
Or hate it.
Full self-driving will do something, and it just got lucky.
Use it.
This is cool. And I'm not like some FSD enthusiast.
Or fear it.
This is stressful. This is not what you would hope, which is like taking the stress out of driving.
It is now in the wild with a free trial for millions of US drivers, and it could reshape the race to full autonomous driving. This week on Tech Check, Tesla's huge...
All right, I'm sorry, but I already have to interrupt. I just pointing out the low key. This is how you know it's legitimate and you can believe what we're saying. When we have a shot of the shot, this is how you know it's serious.
Could reshape the race to full autonomous driving. This week on Tech Check, Tesla's huge FSD gamble. FSD, or full self-driving supervised, is what Tesla calls its driver assistant product. You can set a destination and the car will attempt to drive most of the way there.
Imagine having a car where you just say where you want to go and the car takes you there.
Navigating city and residential streets, intersections and turns, plus highways. But if the name full self-driving has you picturing yourself in the back seat, taking a nap, or even behind the steering wheel texting, think again.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll. Oh geez, oh geez.
A Tesla manual states that FSD is not autonomous and, quote, requires a fully attentive driver who is ready to take immediate action at all times. The manual also tells you to keep your hands on the steering wheel with sensors in the wheel and a camera inside the car monitoring how attentive you are to the road.
Some places it gets things right and it knows what to do, but in others, the roads are very complicated and there are special rules in lots of different places and it doesn't know how to follow all those rules.
So not full self-driving at all, and a branding that regulators have taken issue with as Tesla uses the term to sell cars. The California DMV in 2022 saying that Tesla's statements about FSD were untrue or misleading and not based on facts. And that its cars with FSD could not at the time of those advertisements and cannot now operate as autonomous vehicles. And the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, has also launched investigations into Tesla's autopilot system, including one that prompted Tesla to recall nearly all the vehicles it had ever sold.
2 million vehicles had been recalled.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I can't not. Okay. They're talking about it over the software update, not a physical recall. Are they going to clarify that? I just can't believe how biased this is. A total hit piece. Now, we just heard earlier that Tesla explicitly instructs users that they must be supervising and ready to take over at any time while using this software. Okay. It's very clear. It does not matter what the name of the product is. When purchasing a Tesla vehicle, it is explained the car isn't autonomous. Every time you activate the software, you're told that you need to be monitoring. It's not autonomous. Yet moments later, CNBS try to insinuate that Tesla is misleading customers into thinking their software is autonomous. The name doesn't matter. Whether it's called Roadhead 9000, FSD, FS not D, Drivey 69, it doesn't matter what the fucking name is. It is made incredibly clear to customers before they purchase a Tesla, before they activate the software, every time. This is not autonomous. You must pay attention. And the reason Tesla has called this product full self-driving is because ultimately that's what it will become. They're building the brand. It's such a tiny brain argument to ignore the fact that Tesla makes very clear what the software can and can't do, that people must supervise, that it's not autonomous. It's such a tiny brain argument. So, but the name says, bro, this would be up there with claiming that Apple falsely advertises and misleads consumers by calling their smartphone an iPhone. It's not shaped like an eye. What do you mean iPhone? That's misleading. It's not an eye. It's not an eye that's a phone. What? Morons. So the opening here, the small-brained argument about the name, as opposed to the reality that people are clearly instructed what it can and can't do before buying, before activating, every time. And now CNBS trying to imply that there was a safety issue with this software such that a fuck ton of Tesla vehicles were physically recalled because it was super dangerous. And then, oh my God, dude. This supposed recall was a software update relating to driver monitoring, not to the software, but to monitoring of drivers using the software. This is just so fucking misleading. I can understand why these comments were just 95%. You guys are full of shit. This is fake news, misleading, old news, etc. Wow. Oh, and I'm sorry that earlier in this video I made a mistake and accidentally mentioned that the biggest advertisers on CNBS are automotive manufacturers, because that had nothing to do with this video. Wait, why am I apologizing for mentioning that again? That just brings it up again. Why would I do that? Weird.
Called by Tesla in December. And while the term recall is used, it was an over-the-air software update meant to address what NHTSA considered to be inadequacies in terms of how autopilot works when it comes to interacting with the driver, alerting the driver about potentially dangerous situations. They did the recall in December. The complaints haven't stopped. In fact, there's still been a flurry of complaints, and that has prompted NHTSA to now say, okay, you know what? We've closed down our investigation that was looking into autopilot that led to the recall in December. Now we're opening up a new one, looking at whether or not the recall that was put in place did the job.
NHTSA also investigated nearly 1,000 crashes in which Tesla Autopilot was thought to have been used, finding that the system may have contributed to at least 467 collisions, with at least 13 resulting in deaths and others in serious injuries. The agency wrote that Tesla's design of autopilot, quote, led to foreseeable misuse and avoidable crashes, and did not adequately ensure that drivers maintained their attention on the driving task.
Now, again, there's a million things I want to say here, but I'll just ask a simple question. How many vehicles that are not a Tesla do not at all have any means of ensuring a driver is paying attention? The answer would be almost every other fucking vehicle on the roads. This is insane. I'm sure most people watching have done irresponsible things while driving a vehicle, because I know 95% of my audience are men. Something roadhead. For those watching who do not currently drive a Tesla, does your vehicle monitor you while driving to make sure you're paying attention all the time and not checking out a 10 or reading a billboard or texting at a set of lights? Probably not. One final thought. If you go down to a hardware store and purchase a hammer and hit yourself in the head with the hammer, is it the fault of the hammer manufacturer? Maybe they should have been monitoring you to prevent you from doing that. Or is it the fault of the moron who misused the product? Just asking the question.
Even compared to other car makers with similar technology. According to industry standards, Tesla's technology is only considered partial automation. That's level 2 with features like lane centering and adaptive cruise control, but the driver has to constantly supervise.
So it wants to make sure my hand is still on the wheel, so it wants a little bit of firm pressure on the wheel every once in a while.
And plenty of automakers have cars with this functionality, including General Motors, BMW, and Audi.
But we at CNBS do not discuss those companies because they spend hundreds of millions of dollars per year advertising on our network, and we don't want to bite the hand that feeds. I'm just kidding. That will never be a thing that comes into our consideration. What are we talking about? Moving on.
The next step is a big leap. Level 3 technology means that you can take your hands off the wheel and your eyes off the road in certain conditions. And it's actually Mercedes that has beaten Tesla to the punch with its Drive Pilot tech, becoming the first car maker in the US to start selling a hands-free self-driving car.
This video is not sponsored by Mercedes. Just for the record, by the way, folks, there are some very severe limitations on when, where, and how you can use this Mercedes technology. But putting that aside for the moment, Tesla's brains are far too big to take on the additional liability of promising certain capabilities with their software before they're utterly confident in 99.9999999% of situations it's completely safe. The implication here that Mercedes are ahead of Tesla in terms of autonomy, it's just bizarre. This level 1, 2, fuck all the stupid... Watch what the software does on roads and in what conditions it operates and how it handles those conditions. At this point in time, Tesla's vehicles don't have limitations for can use it here, can't use it here. Instead, they say, use it everywhere, just pay fucking attention and be ready to take over at any time because you're still supervising the software. As opposed to other companies that are like, oh, well, hang on, let's hard code some maps here. As long as the road doesn't turn more than this many degrees on this, or go here. Oh, god damn it, dude. This breaks my brain.
Once it's activated, I basically have a lot of freedom. I can kind of do anything I want in the car, provided that I stay in the seat and provided that I can kind of get a read on my face.
And then there are the true robotaxis, Google's Waymo and GM's Cruise, that have reached level 4, in which cars can operate completely autonomously without human intervention. So given all the companies with more advanced technology... Dude, I just can't. This is going to be a long fucking recording session, bro. And the regulatory hurdles that Tesla is facing, why is Wall Street, tech insiders, and many Tesla owners so excited about FSD? Data, data, and more data.
It is a buttload of data.
It is the essential component that any company developing autonomous driving needs to even have a chance at success. And Tesla is approaching it and gathering it in a very different way. Tesla's FSD technology is primarily based on a vision-centric approach that uses a kind of AI program called a neural network that looks at images from cameras on the car and decides how to drive the car, all happening instantly as the car moves. It is a major departure from the system of cameras, radar, and most critically LiDARs that current leaders like Waymo and Mercedes...
Bro, I'm choking to death here. Current leaders like Waymo and Mercedes. Holy fuck. Now, it is worth underscoring. Tesla's obviously completely wrong with their approach. That's why everyone else is doing it differently, right? Obviously, they must be wrong, right? Bro.
Used to develop its autonomous driving technology. Elon Musk has made his opinions about LiDAR clear.
LiDAR is a fool's errand, and anyone relying on LiDAR is doomed.
Arguing they're too expensive and heavy and ultimately unnecessary. Instead, Tesla is leveraging a vast existing network of vehicles and drivers versus the hundreds of more expensive, custom, and LiDAR-saddled autonomous vehicles on the road that the likes of Waymo deploys. And when many of those Teslas are parked in driveways at night and connected to a Wi-Fi network, a ton of the data it collects gets uploaded to Tesla to, in turn, further train and improve the neural network algorithms that power its FSD system.
I've noticed also that it can start to predict things before I can. I didn't even really think that that person crossing the stairs was going to enter the street. But it's seen millions and millions of clips. It was able to sort of predict that.
Tesla recently rolled out a 1-month free trial of FSD Supervised to Tesla owners in North America, feeding more data into that neural net. Well-known vendor...
And obviously, given the FUD we heard earlier, that resulted in hundreds of millions of collisions and crashes and deaths, right? Because obviously it's dangerous and unsafe, according to the FUD that we implied earlier. Oh, wait, but no, that didn't happen. How curious.
Venture capitalists Brad Gerstner and Bill Gurley, they argued on a recent podcast that Tesla's unique system could deliver not just the quantity of data required, but a better quality of data as well.
Now, obviously, these guys who've made fuck tons investing in disruptive technology and innovation over an extended period of time clearly know nothing about disruptive technology and innovation compared to the people on CNBS, whose largest advertisers definitely aren't automotive companies. So obviously, whatever they say, we should probably ignore because they're going to be wrong. CNBS, they know what they're talking about and aren't at all biased. Just wanted to put that out there before we hear from these people who obviously definitely don't know what they're talking about.
Look at these alternative models, right? If this really is about data, and remember, Bill just said an important point, which is it's not just about quantity of data. Something magic happens around 1 million cars. Yes, you've got to get all that quantity of data, but to get the long tail events, right?
Yeah.
These are events that occur tens or just hundreds of times. That's where you really need millions of cars. Otherwise, you don't have a statistically relevant pool.
So that's the bull case. But the big gamble and the multi-billion-dollar question is still unanswered. Can Tesla develop safe, reliable, autonomous driving technology by using mostly cameras and stripping out a lot of the tech that the rest of the industry sees as critical?
This is definitely a good question. Any way we could possibly figure out a potential answer? Let me think here. Are there examples today of hundreds of millions of camera-based systems successfully, at least fairly successfully, driving vehicles called human beings? Spoiler alert, yes, obviously. We have proof of concept. Obviously, a vision-based system can work.
Bears also argue that people might not want to pay extra for FSD features like cruise control and blind spot detection that are increasingly folded into the base price of other cars.
Would this be an awkward time to point out that all Tesla vehicles come with the basic safety features? Yeah, probably an awkward time to point that out. Let's let them continue.
Bernstein writes, even auto park technology and lane keeping technology are beginning to be included for free in luxury cars today. So in other words, the space is so competitive. Tesla's FSD technology might not be as much of a draw once other companies catch up.
Famous last words. Once other companies catch up. Oh boy.
But Wall Street loves Tesla's FSD, less for its technology, more for its subscription revenue potential.
We've seen what's happened with auto margins coming down. They probably will come down some more with a new affordable car. But it doesn't matter if you can slap on an amazing subscription on it that gets you a higher margin. So if we could see margins overall in aggregate slowly creep up because of FSD take rate, and we're hearing already the version 12 free trial was a smashing success, then that translates into greater margins overall.
Subscription revenue, it's predictable, stable, sustainable, and it has lock-in effects. In what seems to be an attempt to spur more subscriptions, Tesla recently cut the recurring fee for FSD in half, from $200 a month to just $100, and to $8,000 a year from $12,000. It would take someone almost 10 years of paying $100 a month to recoup that cost, a clear sign that Tesla is encouraging buyers to opt for a subscription instead.
I still wouldn't pay 12 grand, 2 to 3 at most. And I've been saying that for years now. And I still don't think that it has improved enough to make me think it's worth 4 or 5.
And with subscriptions, Musk appears to be taking a page out of Apple's playbook, finding ways to generate recurring revenue on already sold hardware. Apple Services segment, which includes revenue from iCloud storage, Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, Apple Pay, and many more, that hit a record high at the end of 2023. That pace of growth now outpacing its flagship iPhone segment, which grew just 6% in that period and is a less reliable revenue stream. That is pumping the entire flywheel, its ecosystem of hardware, software, and now this consistent and reliable subscription stream. Tesla is hoping that Wall Street sees that potential for its cars as well. But the street is also accustomed to Elon Musk's tendency of overpromising and under-delivering. On self-driving especially, he's made bold assertions on the level of autonomy Tesla can achieve, ones that have yet to come true. All the way back to 2016, Musk wrote on Twitter that Tesla expects to demonstrate a self-driven cross-country trip next year. That got pushed back to 2019.
We expect to be feature complete in self-driving this year, and we expect to be confident enough from our standpoint to say that we think people do not need to touch the wheel, look out of the window, sometime probably around I don't know, second quarter of next year.
Then
turns out predicting the future is difficult. You will note, by the way, Musk saying that Tesla expects, not will, but expects. This is one of the most amusing talking points I hear from Tesla Q virgins. Musk failed to accurately predict the timeline of autonomy, therefore it will never happen. Rather than looking at past predictions, I recommend looking at the progress in terms of the capabilities of the software.
in 2020.
I'm very confident about full self-driving functionality being complete by the end of this year. It's because I'm literally driving it.
Same in 2021, 2022, and even last year.
I know I'm the boy who cried FSD, but I think we'll be better than human by the end of this year.
This year, it all hinges on August 8th, which Elon Musk has teased could be Tesla's big Robotaxi unveiling. But Musk has overplayed his hand before. And though FSD might be Elon Musk's boldest vision yet, we could be waiting a lot longer.
At least they said something that's kind of true. We could be waiting a lot longer or a little longer. Nobody knows. That said, it seems the consensus among many Tesla investors is hovering around late 2025 or sometime in 2026 for the first commercial Tesla Robotaxis to begin operation. My own estimates are available in my Tesla valuation model. Click the link in the pinned comment to join Patreon at the investor level and above. But as I've said many times in the past, I'm not particularly concerned about when. What I'm more interested in is, will anyone catch up to Tesla? And spoiler alert, no. And if that's the case, then what is Tesla's slice of this pie? How many other companies ultimately license their technology? And how many hundreds of billions of dollars does this bring in for Tesla? So this is a strange piece from CNBS. They mentioned the free 1 month trial after the free 1 month trial has ended. They dig up a bunch of multi-year-old clips of early versions of FSD. They claim that, was it Waymo and Mercedes are the leaders? Or did they say Cruise and Mercedes? I can't remember. They imply the software is dangerous and there's been mass recalls, and demonstrate their extremely low verbal intelligence by suggesting that the name of the software, as opposed to the clear, explicit instructions before it's purchased and every time it's used, somehow misleading consumers. But as I mentioned, this obviously has nothing to do with the fact that the single largest category of advertisers in terms of total ad spend on CNBS would be the companies that Tesla's putting out of business, legacy automotive manufacturers, because it's not like that would create an editorial bias, so I don't know why I keep mentioning it. Nothing to see here. Move along now. Trolling aside, I think that we saw from the comments on this hit piece how people really feel. 95+% of them calling CNBS out for being full of shit, misleading and deceiving people. And even the haters, who aren't a big fan of Tesla, still calling them out. So you may get the perception that there's a lot of negativity around this software, but the truth is, everyone knows this is fake news. And it's just pointing, laughing, and getting secondhand embarrassment on behalf of CNBS for this pathetic hit piece. Lame. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links at the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.